Hey guys, Jarrett Belliveau here. I wanted to talk to you guys about how to pick a profitable niche to compete on online and e-commerce. So what we're going to jump right into is we're going to talk about the tools that I use. They're all free. I don't ever spend money on research, okay? So I'm going to show you guys the tools that I use and how to use them to pick a successful trend that you can make sure there's profit in, that's not at the peak of its life cycle. So you're not jumping into something like a fidget spinner after you've heard about it and there's no money left on the table. Then we're going to talk about how to make money in that niche. What's the best approach to start to learn how to be involved in that niche, how to make some money in that niche, and the cheapest way to do it. Okay, guys? Then we're going to talk about how do we learn for free. So once you have your niche selected, you guys want to start to see basically, is your audience adaptive? Do they want to respond to this? Do they want to comment to all of your stuff? Do they want to actually engage? That's the biggest thing with e-commerce. Engagement equals profit. So let's jump right into this. All right, so let's start to do some niche research and let's decide what niche we should actually get involved with. And then we can talk about products and all that good stuff later to come. So when I'm deciding on a niche, the first thing that I do, and I recommend that my clients do, is I say, give me a list of 10 things in your life that you like doing or that you do. So in my circumstance, what I'd be writing down is I'd be writing out fitness. I love to work out, weight train. I love to play hockey. I love to play roller hockey. I love reading about business, okay? That's a big thing. I like doing a lot of these things. I like gaming. I write down a list of my top 10 hobbies and activities that I do. Maybe they're not a hobby. Maybe they're work related. Maybe you sell fitness shakes. Maybe anything like that, you write down on this list, top 10. Then we're gonna come to Google Trends. So the link is right below this video for Google Trends, guys. You're gonna come to Google Trends, you're gonna change this to the past 5 years. We want a lot of data here. Past 5 years, and worldwide is what I'm leaving mine at, but you guys can change yours according to basically where your product exists. So if you're selling a cosmetic or vitamins, that's obviously gonna be dictated on the worldwide aspect. If I'm selling vitamin C, there's some countries that they need vitamin C more than others depending on their diets, for example. So let's just start in by putting in the word fitness, because that was my number one thing. I'm very, very active. I love working out. I love doing all that sort of stuff. So I noticed a couple things right here. First thing is this over 5 years, and it doesn't look like it grows. So in October 7th, it had 67 Google searches. At the end here, it has 66, so no growth. So I go, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's gonna be very, very important in my decision-making process. I want a natural growth curve. But this is a great example because we kind of have a little anomaly that happens here that'll allow me to decide if I want to enter the niche in a very short amount of time, okay? So what does this mean? What this means is the average amount of Google searches in that time period. So 67, 68, that's what this is. And it's prorated, and we can see the country breakdowns right here. So, Denmark's got a lot, Australia, United States. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought Denmark would be up number 1 there. So perfect. Now I'm already starting to gain some free knowledge when I'm looking at this. And I'm going to compare every single thing that I'm considering entering in. So for the purposes of this, let's say that, I was thinking fitness, but more importantly, I was thinking about selling weight training programs. Okay. So I'm going to type in weight training. I love weight training. Now I want to see, are people searching this? Not really. Okay, so weight training wasn't a good search term. I'm just gonna remove this guy. It'll make this a little easier to see. So weight training wasn't a good search term. Oh, it won't let me. Okay, I'm trying to remove. Oh, I had it. I'll try to remove this here. Weight training wasn't a good one for me. So, okay, I'm gonna start to look at, remove. I'm gonna put in workout plan. Let's try that, okay? Because maybe that's what people would search. So I just wanna check out every single term that, okay, now boom, I've got awesome things here. Every single term that I think is applicable. Now, next thing I do before I even look at this graph, I look at where are my countries searching from? Trinidad and South Africa. Okay, those didn't seem like anything that I would want to have considered before. I was looking at my existing list, which was United States. Denmark was up there. New Zealand was up there. Now, where's Denmark? I'm just kind of curious. They're not even on the top 10, top 15, top 20. So I go, well, Denmark is probably not for me. That was probably just an anomaly that happened. So now I come back up here and I'm talking about workout plan, and I'm going to compare it to the word fitness. I think that's important to see the differences in the graph here. So they prorate this data, so we can't really add another term there, add these search terms. So if we're looking, I'm just going to try and remove this guy. I'm going to add a comparison. So we'll just leave it there for workout plan. I'll keep this simple for you guys. I'm seeing the same kind of weird trends here. So I actually have a growth here, 40 to 56. That's awesome. That's what I want to see. I always want to see growth. It's necessary. If you guys are beginner marketers, it is way too hard to enter into a niche that doesn't have growth, because now you're competing with guys like me who really know what they're doing. That doesn't make it easy if you're trying to learn. Learning is not easy, so you need to set yourself up to be able to learn. So, would I recommend that you guys jump into this niche? Depends on the time of year. If you came up to me in April and you wanted to enter this niche, the difference between April for the next couple months is marginal. I would say no, do not enter that niche. That is not a good niche for you to try and learn in. But if you came up to me and in November and December here and said, I want to try out advertising in the fitness niche, I would say second week of November, get everything set up so that you can launch some ads at the beginning of December and really see how you do. Because if we look here, in the middle of December, that's when we get this rapid growth, new year, new you, the whole revolution of fitness. I've got my next year, I'm going to try and lose weight. I'm going to try to do really good. And then obviously that tailors off. If you can't get traction at this peak growth point, well, then you shouldn't be in that niche. That's not a good niche to compete in for you. It's not easy to compete in some of these niches, guys. We still have to keep that in mind. But we can learn a lot from adding terms here and looking at things. So for example, I think that this is always a good one when it comes to cosmetics. Cosmetics is really growing. Cosmetics is a very broad term. So I'm going to talk about anti-aging, let's say. For example here, if I type in anti-aging, I've got a natural growth. That's awesome. That's something that I would say maybe you want to get involved with that if that's something that you're passionate about. If I talk about vision loss, because there's a lot of new vision loss supplements. So people Googling about vision loss. It's very erratic, and that's very interesting. I would need to study this a lot more before I could consider that. US is the biggest one, but these are people probably, reading news articles, Googling because they want eye surgeries and stuff like that. So we'd have to break this down further, but this isn't a niche I would recommend that you get involved with if you're a beginner marketer. It's way too crazy trends, crazy ups, crazy downs, and not a lot of room for growth. We want something on that upward angle, right, guys? Does that kind of make sense there? If I go in and I type in fidget spinner, this will be an interesting curve. These are what we call pop-up trends, okay? So fidget spinners were popular there and this is good for you guys to see as marketers, because whenever we see these products on Instagram just blow up, we're all like, oh my gosh, we should go and we should buy some fidget spinners. We should sell fidget spinners. That's a horrible idea if you don't know what you're doing, okay, you guys? This is the 12-month breakdown, okay? So this is a trend that I did tap into because I'm a very good marketer, okay? There's a difference. If you're not a good marketer, it's not easy to quickly start up a shop and sell product like that. But as we can see, people started to sell these in January, but they didn't catch on until about April. You had April and a little bit of May to get in on that trend. Okay, and we kind of tapped it. I kind of missed it, but I got a big chunk of that in sales still. So I'm not mad with it, but I even could have been earlier. So it took me about 5 days to get everything set up from 0 to 100 ads, learning everything. It'll take you guys about a month and a half, 2 months. So keep that in mind. That's the difference of what knowledge can do. So you guys shouldn't try to jump in on pop-up trends. That's not a good idea. If anyone tells you to, look at this and tell them that they're wrong, okay? That is the biggest thing. So now that we've kind of got a niche that you want to compete in, let's say that we're going to go with a cosmetic for, let's choose one. So if I type in the word cosmetic, this is another great thing I can see. If I type in the word cosmetic, we can actually go down here and we'll be able to see some similar research that people are doing involving related terms. So then we can maybe decide what's a good industry to get into. So there's a lot of dentists. Cosmetic dentistry. There's a lot of stuff going in there. There's obviously plastic cosmetics. There's MAC cosmetics. There's things like that. Kylie Jenner. But related queries is where I kind of care about a little bit more, and I want to see if any of these maybe stood out to me from a perspective of, hey, I'm related to that niche. I think I could sell something in that niche. I use them all the time. So I saw cosmetic teeth. So I'm going to go with teeth whitening. I want to take a look at this, teeth whitening, because I feel like this would be a good opportunity for me. So this is the last 12 months, so there's some growth there. But if I look at the last 5 years, I've actually got a pretty upward slope here. So 61 dropped to 51, and we're ending around 76, 80 there at the end. So that's a good enough growth phase that I think I can enter in there. So if I go teeth whitening, this is going to give you guys an in-depth example here. Awesome. Ireland, United Kingdom. Shocking that I don't see USA up there at the top, but that's interesting for my marketing. Now, what I'm going to want to look at is I'm then going to hop into Facebook Audience Insights. If you plan on doing any social media marketing, this will be your best friend in deciding if you should pursue this avenue, okay? Audience Insights is an amazing, amazing tool. There's a link right below this video, but let's quickly walk through this. I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. Let's click everyone on Facebook, and I'm going to leave the United States for now, but I'm going to adjust that according to what I have on my Google Trends, okay? So let's leave the age groups wide open there. Now, teeth whitening. Can I just type in the teeth whitening industry? And I can. That's an interest. Okay, that's by Beauty by Sierra. I don't really care about that. I'm going to try again. Teeth whitening. There's Pro White Teeth, which actually is a pretty good representative of this, but it's not got enough data there. So I saw one that just said white teeth. Let's type that in there. White teeth. Let's see. So 10 to 15K have expressed interest in white teeth. Now, that's obviously not enough for me to look at. There's not enough data here. If this is where I'm seeing that 10 to 15K, there's obviously not enough data there if I want to learn from this. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click this page likes tabs. What this is, all of the people that like white teeth as an interest, they come and it shows the top pages that they like. So there's 10,000 people, 546 of them like the page, I want white teeth, okay? So let's see if that's an interest. I want white teeth. Not an interest, not popular enough. Shoot, I can't do anything with that. So now I'm kind of at a point, and this is why I chose something a little harder, where I go, what can I do here, okay guys? What in the world can I do? Now, there's some companies like Crest White Strips. That's a huge advantage for me to now use, because now that I have Crest White Strips in there, that's exactly what I'm thinking about selling along those lines. It doesn't have to be a white strip, but these are people that care about whitening devices, whitening strips, whitening tools, right? They care about their personal image, okay? Very, very important. There's, charcoal. No, nothing's going to come up for that, but there's that new charcoal toothpaste and stuff like that. So maybe when you guys do your research, that's an interest all of a sudden on Facebook. At this point, it's not for me. But I've got 35,000 people. I'd like to see 100,000 people in there. So make sure you add a few other interests, other pro enamels or whitening strips or, devices like that. Find those brands, type them in here. But I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. Go to this page likes tabs. Maybe I'll see something up here. I don't really see anything on those top 10, and that's all I really care about. From the perspective of there's nothing there that really stands out. Obviously, they're going to be related to cosmetics because people who buy cosmetics care about their personal image a lot. So therefore, that's what I expect to see. But what I really care about is this activity tab. Okay, guys? This is the decision-making process. So this is not a slow process for you guys to go through. You chose 10 things in your life. You're going to research them on Google Trends, and then you're going to come here. I know I'm making this video really short and really, really fast, but you guys should be taking realistically 5-6 hours to do all of this research for 10 total interests. So now that I'm in the activity tab, I've got 40,000 people. What I care about is the gray boxes are the average user on Facebook. The blue boxes are my audience that I've created here. Now, what do I care about? What am I looking for? I want people who are engaging. I want people who comment, who share posts. I want that. So when I look at comments, the average user comments 8 times. These ones comment 27. That's awesome. The average person likes posts 38 posts versus 12 posts. That's awesome for me to see. Sharing posts, not a substantial hike. Nothing on promotions, redemption. So then there's a lot of other stuff on this, but I don't really care about anything else for now when I'm choosing my niche, okay? So this is all to help you choose your niche. When you guys are doing this, I want you to compare. We want engaging industries. Okay, that's very, very important. So if I put in the words here, let's just say, training. I want to say weightlifting, weight training. Let's try that. Let's see how engaging these guys are. So same thing, they're very engaging. That's awesome. That's what I want to see, right? That's perfect. But maybe if I put in interests along the lines of the vitamin shop. So I'm thinking about selling vitamins. Okay, great. That's highly correlated to that industry within the fitness. So perfect. These are the kind of things that we want to look for. I'm trying to think of a bad one here, but I can't off the top of my head, probably because I only really deal with good things, generally speaking, because I always do my research. So think about this when you guys are considering this. If the users only double, if they only have 4 post likes, 10, 12 post likes, 6 comments, if they're around that industry average, we don't want to compete in a niche like that with social media. Maybe you should consider Google AdWords, which I've got a great video on for that. And that'll help you decide if you should be using Facebook ads or Google AdWords, okay guys? And I'll put a link to that video in the description here. But this is where you guys need to come before you even get started in e-commerce, okay? Once you guys have completed this, then there's a lot of other tools and things that we're going to chat about over this 100 days, 100 videos challenge. If you guys aren't aware of, I'm giving away $5,000 cash. So keep that in mind, you guys. That is going to be the biggest factor when you guys decide your niche. Now what? Now what's the next thing to do? So I really think that you guys should follow along here. I'm doing 100 days, 100 videos. The winner gets $5,000 cash for being a part of this contest. The link will be in the description. There's nothing you have to do. Just watch my videos, comment on my videos. You're going to learn a ton. We're going to talk about everything, all of your e-commerce questions. So if you guys are interested in this, click that link. But more importantly, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to keep making videos and you like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe, okay, guys? You have no idea how far that goes for me, considering that I don't even know what kind of response I'm getting from these videos unless you guys comment, like, share this video, subscribe. That's what keeps me doing this, okay, guys? I hope you all have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me some feedback. Thank you.